Hey, Tyler here. So the word we're learning to pronounce today is Mythbuster. If you don't know what it means, check my last video. So let's learn how to pronounce it. First sound we have here is the M sound. So lips together to create that sound. Then we go straight to the I sound. Careful so you don't pronounce it as E. E is a tense sound. And here we want a more relaxed sound. So the tongue is a little bit lower, so not E, but I. Just relax and the sound will come. So mi. Now we go to the TH sound. Here we use the unvoiced version of the TH. So just bring your tongue a bit out and slightly touch your upper teeth. But not too hard. You don't want to block the air, so make sure there's air coming out. Myth. You can feel the air. Now, lips together again to say the B sound. B. And by saying like that, we already pronounce the next sound, which is So B. So for the S sound, just make sure that the edges of the tip of your tongue, like here, touch your bicuspid and cuspid teeth or canine and premolar, which is like here. Then you just go from that side part of the tongue to the front part of the tongue to create the T sound, like t. So myth, bust. And because the next sound is a schwa sound, you can technically just go straight to the R sound, and then will just automatically be created. So it's ter. Mythbuster. And for the R sound, just bring the back of your tongue a little bit back. So kind of going towards the back of your mouth. And just imagine you have peanut butter in the back and you can't really get that with the tip of your tongue. So go with the back. So you're technically just going like Mythbuster. Mythbuster. Now you say it. Don't forget to let me know in the comments what word you want me to break down here. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next video.